Welcome to Unleashed Podcast, where all are welcome. Now, here is your host, Pup Twigs.
Hey everyone, Pup Twigs here for another episode of Unleashed. And joining me all the way from Austin, Texas is Zeph. How are you?
Hi, Twigs. I'm doing well.
Good, glad to hear it. Well, I'm glad you could join me on another episode of my podcast here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, let's just get started. Can you share just a little bit about, your journey and what being part of the LGBTQIA plus community means to you?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, my journey wasn't anything crazy or anything like that. Like I grew up in the North, and I think that I find from moving from the North to the South, some of the stereotypes are true of like there's kind of a higher level of acceptance in the North, and the South is a little bit more conservative. And
Mm-hmm.
I really, growing up, I wasn't particularly concerned about whether or not the people in my life were going to accept me when I came out. But I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and what I thought was really interesting was that even with that knowledge, even knowing those things, it still amazes me how difficult I was certain that I would never come out to anyone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it amazes me that even still, without those external issues, that it can still be very difficult to come out and get to a place of acceptance with yourself. So I would say that those are kind of the characteristic things about it as far as what the community means to me. I originally I really didn't know. I always would tell people that part of the reason that it took me a while to come out was because I never saw a reflection of myself in the community. I never connected with many of the things that happen in the community, and now I feel like as I've gotten older and I've started to expand more on who it is that I am, explore more things about who it is that I am, and understand all of like the multifaceted things about the gay and queer community. Um, I find it a lot more important in my life. I find it a much more a place of safety and security.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just it's a scary process to go through the whole coming out thing, and it takes a lot that person has to go through when they do that process.
Definitely.
Well, if you could leave the listeners with one message about, love, acceptance, or just being true to yourself, what message would you want to leave them?
Um, I think there are two quotes that I really like that come to mind on that topic, and I think it's there's one from a sociologist, Charles Cooley. Um,
Hmm.
it goes, I am not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. So ultimately, what it's getting at is that we live in a perception of what other people think about us. And I think a lot of people in the queer community can connect with that idea, that notion that, a lot of the times the things that we're afraid of are things that we create in our heads about what other people think about us.
Hmm.
And that it's funny because we're existing in a simulation of a simulation, and we're using that perception of what we think other people think about us in order to govern our entire lives. And we need to do more to push back on that internally, not necessarily externally, but we have to stop our own sense of self-judgment, so that way
Hmm.
then we can be liberated of that pain that we had for a long time. That is true healing, is getting rid of those feelings of self-judgment. And I think the other quote that I would say connects with that and kind of follows up with it it's a Dharma quote, and it goes, you can't be anything that you want to be, but you can be everything that you are. And I think it's really, really important that we embrace that, especially as gay and queer people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what advice would you give someone who's just now starting to embrace their identity?
I think it would be along the lines of what it is that I just touched on, and that's essentially like there's there's a certain level of courage that we have to walk through the world with as queer people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and that doesn't mean like the immature kind where you're just going and being loud for the sake of being loud.
Yeah.
Oftentimes courage is quiet, owning yourself quietly and standing proud in who it is that you are. Um, I think overall the thing that I would say to people that are learning that it's there's the fear of what other people think of you is significantly less miserable than the prison that you put yourself in by walking away from who it is that you are.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I'm assuming that over the years you have been able to, participate in some of the, pride events that happen.
Hmm.
I'm sure you have some great ones in Texas,
Hmm.
but do you have a favorite pride memory or event that you've attended over the years?
Oof. Yeah, definitely. And it as much as I want to say one of the ones that I've been to in Chicago. Chicago's my hometown. Chicago shows up for events. They like any kind of street event or things like that. Like they they show up and they show out. It's an amazing city. But I would say that my favorite one was this past one here in Austin, Texas. Um, this is the first year that I've been out as a pup. I haven't even hit my 1 year quite yet. I that was in May when I did that, and so then our Pride in Austin happens in August. I'm not fully sure what the story is there,
Okay.
but that's when ours happens. So May to August, it's been really early into it, but I got to walk in the parade with the furries and the pups. And I think with something that I've been interested in it for a long time, for a very long time, but always felt some sense of like shame or embarrassment around it and didn't want to involve myself with it or let other people know, signal to other people that it was something that I was interested or enjoyed or took something from.
Mm-hmm.
And to then go and walk in the middle of our city with our other queer friends and be there with the pups and the furries and to see on the sidelines, like I can't express to you how excited and how stoked people were when we came by specifically. Like it's like the symbol of weirdness, right? And like celebrating that weirdness and just people who are owning their weird, and I love that. Um, I think this was one of the most memorable ones to date.
And I feel you when you talk about uh, for some reason people just love to see the pups and the furries.
Hmm.
It's the same way here in Orlando, and we do ours in October. We don't do ours in June.
Oh, okay.
June is too hot,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so we plan our Pride Festival around the National Coming Out Day, which is
Awesome. Yeah.
October the 11th.
Yeah.
And so that's when we do ours. And it's the same thing. We have a what we call a critter walk where we all get together and Orlando has this huge festival that happens all day long. And we all walk through the festival before the parade.
Mm.
And it's just people just reach out and want to take pictures with us.
Hmm.
It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, people are so embracing of it, and it's such a relieving thing to experience. Especially like I said, not even a year out, really, really enjoying getting to know people in the community and experience that sense of love and acceptance.
Yeah, it's really great. Well, what misconceptions about our community do you wish more people would understand?
Um, I think so. It's I want to try and get into the nuance of this, but it is something that people have talked about in the past. The notion that the gay community in general or at large is solely about sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean when I'm talking about the nuance of that is that it is a hypersexual culture. There is sexuality like entirely within the gay community. It's a very prevalent thing, you know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
don't want for people externally when they look at it, I get why it is that they think that the entire thing is about sexuality and about sex, but it's not. The nuance in it is that sexuality is the vehicle, the expression of sexuality is the vehicle that we use as a tool for self-love and self-acceptance, and it's a sense of like punk rock radicalism, that kind of thing, because
Yeah.
it is us embracing the thing that we were told for our entire lives to hate about ourselves, for us
Mhm.
to dislike about ourselves. And we are now doing it in a way that is out and it's loud and it's here, you know? And I think that that's the nuance that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to it. Yes, it happens through a vehicle of sexuality, but the reason that it happens and what its utility is us finding a deeper sense of self-love and community.
Yes. Well, on a kind of a lighter note, talking about talents and everything, if you could instantly master one talent, what do you think you would want to master?
Um, I would say cinematography, but I
Okay.
love learning cinematography. I
Really?
love learning cinematography. I love getting better at it. The pursuit of it feeds me. I
Mm-hmm.
would say that the thing that I would like to Matrix style instantly download into my brain is uh is editing, because I hate doing it. I I hate it so much, and to have it like instantly mastered in my brain, I think that that would be a great thing, so that way I don't really ever have to run into that roadblock again. Like I've
Yes.
said in the past that if and when I am wealthy enough to, the first person that I will hire is going to be a driver, because I hate driving. And so
Oh, really?
similarly, yeah, I hate it. But similarly, I think the same thing with editing. As soon as I have the means to, an editor will be the first person that I start partnering with regularly.
So, did you take any school toward filmmaking and cinematography?
Um, Vaguely so. When I was in junior college, I was studying film and literature because I was trying
Mm-hmm.
to, at the time, I was looking more into the writing aspect of it because that was my background is was in writing. I didn't have enough money to finish my degree, so I had to table it for a while. But
Mm-hmm.
I've known growing up, I was always in fine art. I was always doing some kind of fine art. And then as I got older, I tried to figure out what form of art um, spoke to me, what it is that I wanted to do. And I landed on film because for me, film is the unity of all arts, every
Mm-hmm.
single art form. And then on top of that, like it is, I can't express how much I love film as an art form. It's so beautiful to me that it is the culmination of sometimes thousands of people's ideas
Mm-hmm.
into
Yes.
one piece of art, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did some schooling for it, but eventually I ended up jumping in and doing it.
Oh, that's awesome. So, well, what has been one of your proudest or most affirming moments?
This actually folds in quite nicely to what I was just talking about.
Oh,
It was
good.
yeah, it 100% it was 3 years ago, I got laid off from my tech job that I was doing for a while. I grew up low income and I moved out here to Texas and I just kind of by luck ended up getting jobs at different tech companies, eventually worked for Apple and IBM, made good money and but I hated it. I hated it so much.
Hmm.
I was miserable all of the time. And I knew that I wanted to do film. I had known I had wanted to do film for a long time. And 3 years ago, when I got laid off, I just made the decision to just jump in, start doing it, reaching out to people, trying to find my path through it. And I am outstandingly proud of what it is that I've been able to do in that time frame. Um, and I want to be very clear, like I haven't done anything exceptional or anything like that, but the people that I've met, the experiences that I've had, the things that I've learned in doing this, how I've grown, the way that I've got to experience this art and come back to it, and what I feel is like coming home to it. I'm insanely proud of walking away from the money to pursue the thing that I care about so deeply because I
Yeah.
am so broke now, but it is a million percent worth it. I will be a broken happy artist over being a well-paid tech person any day.
Oh, it's not good that you're broke, but it's good that you're following
Yeah,
your passion and everything, because that just means you're just going to be so much good better at it. And so I wish you all the luck in your endeavors in getting into that film industry type thing.
thank you.
So, and when I first made this question, I put your first, but it could even be a current as far as I'm
Mm,
concerned. But who's your celebrity crush that
mm.
you have either in the past or that you have now?
I would say the very first, like maybe the gay awakening crush for me was from the Disney Channel original movie Brink about inline skating. It
Oh yeah.
was
Oh,
the
okay.
main character, Ashley Brink. Uh, I thought he was so cute, and those blue eyes, they killed me. Um, but but yeah, I think he was the first one. And then probably on like the furry side of things, I think I just very traditionally go to the original Robin Hood, the animated Robin Hood.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's works. So,
Yeah.
well, I know when you think about LGBTQIA plus, we're a very large community when you think about
Hmm.
all that it encompasses. But when you think of community, what does community mean to you, and where do you go out and find yours?
Um, are you are you familiar with the concept of interdependence?
A little bit.
So in like relationships, there's independence and then there's codependence, and it's
Hmm.
these two different extremes, right? Like on one end you're very isolated, on the other end you're very like tied into a person, and both extremes I feel are not the right answer. And in a lot of ways a healthy and happy relationship exists in interdependence with the partners, and basically what that comes down to is that you use each other as a safe harbor from which to explore. It's a place that you can come back to, so that way then you can go out from there and explore and paradoxically find and create a larger sense of independence within yourself because you feel secured in your base. And I
Okay.
think very similarly, that's what I think community means overall. It's co-regulating your nervous systems together, that you're spending time with each other and creating a sense of safety and togetherness and uh, just signaling this sense of deeper connection. I think that that's ultimately what it is that I look for in a community. And I think as far as finding that, um, shared interest is just like a super easy way to start with it. And I think
Hmm.
that's like I think that small talk gets a bad rap these days. A lot of people talk down on small talk, I think, but
Yeah.
I think it's maybe that they don't understand the utility of it. It's a temperature check. It's how it is that we start the process of going deeper with one another. You can't just walk up to somebody on the street and be like, "Hey, what's your deepest childhood trauma?" You know what I mean? Like you
Hmm.
can't, that's not, you have to earn that kind of information, right?
Yes.
And I think very similarly, shared shared interest does that when it comes to building a sense of community. And I think that that's also what I really like about the puff community is that it is a hyper easy shortcut to seeing
Yeah.
something that both of both of you are interested in. You know, at the very least, you're not going to go up to a person who paid for a pup hood, got it ordered, found their specific color, and be like, "Hey, you also like being a pup?" And they're going to be like, "No, I hate it. I bought this as a representation of how much I hate pups." Like it just won't happen. So
Yeah.
it's a really nice, very easy entry point in getting to start a sense of connection with other people.
Yeah. Well, now I'm curious about do you like to sing or get out and sing much?
I do actually. Yeah, I think
So
it's fun.
so do you like to sing karaoke then?
I do. Here in Austin, we actually have kennel karaoke that we do where it's a bunch of pups that do a karaoke night at one of the bars,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I love it. It's one of my favorite events. We do it each month.
So do you have a specific song that you like to your go-to song for karaoke?
Mm. Um, my safety song is "This Love" by Maroon 5 because I've sang it enough to where I know I can it does well, and then on top of that, like it's people tend to like it and get into it, and it's a little bit dancey. And so even if you're bad at it, the crowd will save you a bit on it. Um, but the ones that I've been practicing that I think would be fun to do are 12 to 12 by Somber, which is a newer
Mm-hmm.
one, and then Too Sweet by Hosier as well. I think those would be cool and fun to try out. I've been practicing my singing more. I had a jaw surgery a few years back, and when they intubated, they kind of messed up my my throat a bit,
Oh,
and so it's been in it's been climbing back to it, but I still do it. It's still fun.
awesome, awesome. Well, over the years being in this community, I'm sure you have faced some challenges
Mm-hmm.
within it. Uh, you care to share one of the challenges that you faced and how you overcame it?
You know what's funny is that most of it is internal, I feel.
Is it?
Most of these are internal challenges, which is in a lot of ways I'm privileged that's the case, that it's not these external things, because sometimes I think about the the people in our community that are more effeminate or more outwardly effeminate, or even like even trans people too, right? Like they they can't always hide in plain sight when it's convenient.
Mm,
And I, to an extent, have that luxury. And so a lot of the challenges that I run into tend to be internal. And while it is a privilege, there is also like a drawback to it, which is the the external challenges that we run into. There are some places that we can get a break from it, that we can get some sense of reprieve from it because there are safe spaces that we've helped build as a community to where we can
Hmm.
feel a sense of security. But internally, when it's like your self-talk, your own dialogue, how it is that you're communicating with yourself, a sense of disharmony within yourself, at times it feels like there's no sense of reprieve from it, that a lot of times it's there with you constantly, but it is something that you then get very good at working on constantly. And I think I think probably a lot of it is I have found that when you push back on these things and on these thoughts, and you try and tell yourself like, no, those thoughts aren't true, you're you're kind of you're kind of setting yourself up for failure in a certain way, because it's not whether or not the thoughts are true. So like, if for example, say like, I have difficulty with my own self-image at times. There's a lot of times that I'm thinking about myself and I'm like, well, I could look better this way. I could look better that way.
Hmm.
And people probably think this, and I wonder if that, and if I'm thinking about those things, I used to tell myself, like, no, people don't think that. People don't think that. It's okay. Like, it's just in your head. And the problem with that is that then if externally those people then confirm those fears that you have, then you're like, then telling yourself that they don't think that doesn't work. What I found has been better for me and has been genuinely more healing for me is telling myself, if they do think that, it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And if this is the case, if you do look this way, if there are things that you don't like about yourself, that's okay. And I have just found that a much more fruitful path, I think, than trying to convince myself
Yeah.
that these other things don't exist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, last question, and I just want to find out if there is an ultimate role model that you have out there that you kind of go to for advice and everything.
Mm. Um, so I'll give you, I guess, my queer examples and my not queer examples, and I'll start with the not queer one. Um, Currently, it my role model is my cinematography mentor. Um, he's a person that I just randomly reached out to on Instagram, is an outstanding cinematographer, but more important, an outstanding person. And I've seen the way that he conducts himself on set, and there are definite horror stories on sets where people are not particularly nice or patient or helpful or anything like that, and they're very out for themselves. And he is a different person than everybody else. Like, he is a rare person, and I'm super super thankful to him. Uh, Beyond that, the gay role models, the gay icons, I think are, for me, it's people like Alan Turing and Harvey Milk and Matthew
Hmm.
Shepard. And I
Yeah.
think I think with them, the thing for me is that all of them, the through line with all of them is that they all paid the ultimate price for being who it is that they are. And whether it was whether it was through uh taking their own lives, or being assassinated through political means, or being murdered, all of them paid the ultimate price for who it is that they are, and they all existed in different times of acceptance as well. And I think that that was such a representation of the fact that our fight is not done, and that we need to
Yeah.
remember history. We need to remember our history. We need to remember the history of our country and our world, and we need to prop up and remember the people that laid down the road for us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, it has been So much fun getting to talk to you, getting to learn a little bit about you. Uh, and I just thoroughly enjoyed getting to listen to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I really
Well,
appreciate you having me on.
any social media that you would care to share in case someone wants to reach out to you because they saw you here?
Hmm.
I'll let you go ahead and do that.
Yeah, sure. I think really my primary and only account that I have that I do my pup stuff is Pup Zef, PUP underscore Z as in zebra EF. Um, but yeah, that's the primary one that I'm active on.
Okay, all right. Well, any last words before we sign off here?
Um, Embrace your weird. Enjoy enjoy being weird. It's good stuff. Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results, and weird results are fun.
Yeah, we results are definitely fun. I agree with you on that. Well, thank you again for being on here, and I know I'm sure we'll be talking in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks, Twigs.
Bye.